This is your warning shot. Pew, pew. Oh, my goodness. I guess we out the mud now, huh? We out the mud, chat. We out the mud. Oh! OTM! This is something new to me, man. I don't know. All I know is that they spent 3 years in NXT. If you watch NXT, man, God bless your souls. God bless your souls. They debuted tonight. Interesting. With Royce Keys. Interesting. Thing is, I don't think Royce Keys is leading the group. There's no way that WWE thinks Royce Keys is going to lead his own group. There's just no way. Unless we have another Bloodline defection in the works. We're going to talk about it. Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee. What a banger on Raw tonight. And we got the Lucha Brothers going one-on-one for the right to wrestle Roman Reigns. I love it. They got it right. They got it right. You know what else is right? Monday night in the venue, the Beer Garden. And when we get there on this Monday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters: long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for your August 24th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Monday evening, wherever you may be. We out the mud, chat. We out the mud. OTM. OTM has debuted on Monday Night Raw. And I don't think, with what we saw tonight, I don't think Royce Keys, or returning Royce Keys with OTM, I don't think Royce Keys is leading this new brigade on Monday night. Royce Keys just doesn't have the fanfare. He doesn't have the momentum. He doesn't have the feel of a main event level guy, especially in the midst of a Roman Reigns and the Usos and LA Knight and a surging Solo Sikoa. I don't think Royce Keys has enough to lead this group known as OTM in this new faction that debuted on Monday Night Raw, laying waste to LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and the Usos at the end of the show. WWE has done a very good job post SummerSlam. I said it on Twitter. I think Triple H is a better booker post SummerSlam than he was pre SummerSlam. SmackDown is still largely terrible, but SmackDown's main event scene is one of the more exciting aspects in all of pro wrestling. Monday night largely has been a snooze fest, but we have this Lucha tournament. We have Big Cass. We have Chad Gable. We had the Bloodline angle that was largely very good last week that played off Solo Sikoa remaining a babyface. We had the debut of a new group tonight in OTM. I genuinely feel Triple H is a better booker now in the last 6 weeks than he was the weeks leading into SummerSlam. I genuinely feel that. There's still a lot of work to be done. The shows aren't really all that exciting. There's still large parts of this show that just don't do anything for many of us. But I feel like he's at least taking a chance with some aspects on the television. Jacob Fatu was a big primary focus last week. Jacob Fatu was basically belittled once again by Roman Reigns as he tried to do good and help Roman attack LA Knight and eliminate LA Knight. Roman told him, stop. Roman then belittled him. Roman then spoke down to him. And Roman took care of business. That is until Solo Sikoa and LA Knight took care of the Bloodline and Jacob Fatu didn't lift a finger to help Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns took a BFT and he just stood there. He did not help the tribal chief. That's going to come back. And that's going to be a major focus going into whatever happens with Roman and LA Knight at Money in the Bank. And it's going to lead Jacob Fatu to ultimately leave the group. It's going to lead Jacob Fatu to ultimately see that Roman Reigns, as the world's heavyweight champion, is no different than Roman Reigns, the WWE champion, at 1,300 days. The tribal chief is still the tribal chief. His attitude is still his attitude. He is a babyface, but he is still the same Roman Reigns that operated and ruled WWE under his iron thumb for 5 years. There's no different, nothing different to Roman Reigns. Jacob Fatu will see this. And the West Coast Oakland connection, the connection that Royce Keys and Jacob Fatu, that was teased on weekly television before, months ago, before we even got to where we are right now. That's going to come full circle. And when Jacob Fatu leaves the Bloodline, it will be Jacob Fatu going back to family. The family that was referenced on TV with Royce Keys and Jacob Fatu traveling up the West Coast circuit on the Indies. Their relationship spans 20 years. They traveled together. They worked together. That's all going to come back around. And Jacob Fatu will be the one to lead Royce Keys and OTM. Royce Keys isn't enough to lead a new group. Jacob Fatu leading his own group also opens the door wide open to what the War Games match is going to be at Survivor Series with the Bloodline. Jacob Fatu leading his own group against Roman Reigns, that is a lot better than what we were all coming up with as far as fan theories with LA Knight and Solo Sikoa and a mixture of baby faces. It looks like there's going to be an internal struggle, an internal family war, a civil war, with Jacob Fatu leading his own family bloodline, not really a bloodline, but his own family, against Roman and his legitimate bloodline, Roman and his legitimate family. This also opens the door to a possible debut of Zilla Fatu on the main roster. You know WWE is itching to get Zilla on the main roster. Now, the last time we had someone in the bloodline on NXT, it was Solo Sikoa. Solo only lasted 11 months on the main roster. Zilla Fatu is getting an NXT championship match right now. This coming Sunday at Heatwave. He's in a fatal four-way with Grayson Waller, Mike Santana, Cruz Montana. I always get the names. It's so weird not calling him Mike Santana. Cruz Montana. And then to my guy Tony D'Angelo. Fatal four-way. Zilla could win. Zilla could be the new NXT champion. Does Zilla need a main roster call-up? I don't think we call him up yet. He's only 26 years old. What is he going to do on the main roster? Get your feet wet. Get situated in NXT. Make your money down there. Make your own name. Why do we need to call Zilla Fatu up to the main roster and leave him on the main roster? Why can't he win the NXT championship and then get called up? We've seen people win the NXT championship and then get called up. Work a match or two. Why not? And you know the connection that Zilla and Jacob Fatu have. They are very close. And they have a lot of similarities as far as their background before pro wrestling, which is something that should absolutely be highlighted when it eventually makes itself to the main roster. I don't know if I'm completely on board. Again, I'm not married to this entire storyline. I feel like WWE is just treading in mud. We see the same thing over and over and over again, and the characters aren't really as interesting as they were in the original version of the Bloodline going into WrestleMania 40. But the opportunity for some excitement, the opportunity for something different, the opportunity for some new names is certainly there. So I'm going to give this some time to marinate. But I do think at the end of all this, Jacob Fatu will eventually end up joining Royce Keys, and Jacob Fatu will eventually join up with these guys and lead his own faction, because he's someone that is big enough to lead a faction. His name is big enough to lead a faction. Is a notable name. Royce Keys is not. Royce Keys is nowhere there. So we'll see what happens going into the fall months. Coming out of tonight's show, we got this Heatwave show coming up. We'll see what happens with Zilla Fatu. And then obviously we'll go into the month of September, and then we got Money in the Bank looming. And that's going to be a big night for Roman Reigns and LA Knight as well, and whatever may transpire there. So I thought what they did was good. I am not really up on who OTM are. I pulled up some of their history. We'll go over who OTM are a little bit later on in the show. They were in the main event, like I mentioned, with Royce Keys. Elsewhere on this show, we had a contract signing with Femi and Bron Breakker. Femi and Bron Breakker, I thought, was very entertaining. Sat down, talked shit to each other. Paul Heyman in the middle of this thing again. Is he for Oba or is he for Bron? I don't know. I would not like Paul Heyman to be involved, and I would like Paul Heyman to not be the middleman of a Bron Breakker Femi feud. that this is what we got to go through to get over Femi and Bron Breakker, which I am incredibly excited about. This is something I am very much looking forward to. That is the biggest match that's taking place on Sunday night's main event. Can't wait to see what they do. I thought the contract signing was great. You give a microphone to Bron Breakker and you let him cut a promo. You give a microphone to Femi, you let him cut a promo on each other, man. I thought it was very entertaining. And then obviously we had the Vision get involved. And Bronson Reed is still not back on television. We all know how Bronson Reed transformed himself into looking like a complete savage. He was just at the WWE Titan Tower in Stamford, Connecticut. He was at the headquarters this week. And the report is that WWE is planning for him to return imminently. He's going to factor right into that almost immediately, whether it's the Vision or the future of WWE. And WWE is going to be in no position to keep him benched. He made himself into a superstar in his absence. And WWE is going to look at him and push him to the fucking moon. So we still have that as well. So the future is certainly bright for Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker, and Femi, and I'm very much looking forward to that match. And then we had Big Cass in-ring debut after 8 years. I thought he held his own very well against Javon Evans. The theme music, though, oh my goodness, man, the theme music. Is it me? Or did WWE try to go for some weird fucking twisted version of Diesel's old theme music? That's the first thing that I thought of. That's the first thing that I thought of. Some hokey fucking Def Rebel 2026 version of the old school Diesel theme music. Minus the fucking truck horn. And then we had the Lucha tournament. We had Parka versus Penta. And we had Dragon Lee versus Rey Fenix, man. That Dragon Lee-Rey Fenix match was fucking great. When you talk about best television matches all year anywhere, you're going to talk about Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee. WWE made the right decision. The finals are set, and I'm super excited about what's to come. The only down point is that it's a tape show, and it's going to be very difficult. If you live online and you're a content creator and you work online, it's going to be very difficult to not be spoiled with the results of the finals of this Lucha tournament, the number one contender for Roman Reigns and the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw, which I thought was a decent show tonight. It wasn't groundbreaking. It didn't blow away anybody, but we got a lot of good. We got some bad. We'll talk about it right here on Off the Script. It is your Monday, August 24th. 2026. Thank you guys for all the great support, man. You guys have been killing it all August. I was talking to myself today, man. I'm like, holy shit. There's just no content to make videos on. The only thing that was really of note was Ilya Dragunov being let go, or in his case, he opted to not resign and walk out of WWE. That was the only piece of news. So, like I say all the time, if there's no content to make, I'm not going to force content out. I would rather it be quality over quantity. And honestly, I could use the rest, you know? We've been going hard all year, man. So a week with no news is a good week to me. At least we got the streams. It's been very dry. Absolutely dry, Kaiba. So I apologize for the fact that there's no extras during the week. I just don't give a shit. Most of the news, believe it or not, most of the news is like quotes from JBL and Bischoff. I mean, who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit what JBL has to say? We got a big week coming up, though. We got tonight, we got Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow with the Solid Monster. We got 2 Count coming back. Me and Coach will be live tomorrow morning, 11:30. So he's back. And I'll be back alongside him, and we're going to have a good time tomorrow morning. So make sure you guys set your clocks. 2 Count is live tomorrow. BTT Studios, 11:30 a.m. on Coach's channel. Wednesday night, Dynamite. I'm already falling asleep just mentioning it. One of the lowest ratings all year last Wednesday. It doesn't feel like All-In season. All-In feels like a fucking house show. The build is terrible. The worst All-In build ever for AEW. Jesse and I will be live Wednesday. Friday we'll be live for SmackDown. And then this coming weekend is All-In and Heatwave. I don't know which one I'll be watching. I'll be watching All-In and reviewing All-In with Jesse, but I would definitely like to tune in to see Zilla and Mike Santana in that main event. So I may be doing some double dipping on Sunday. So we got a big week. We're going to round out August the best way that we can, guys. So thank you very much for all the support. The rating for Dynamite, Chris, was, I think, 580,000 or something like that. 590,000. Awful. Awful, but the tides are changing with AEW is what the sickos say. What fucking tide? They're drowning. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you to all my patrons over on the Patreon. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Hit that thumbs up. We're looking at right now, 410 likes. I'd love to see 750. We'll set the goal, a modest goal of 750. Super chats are open. Always the best way to support the show here. Super chats, get them on in. We've had a couple of mini bombs already. Shout out to my guy, Joshua coming in with a mini 50 bomb. So get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. No wheel tonight. I still got to take care of the existing packages for the winners of last week's wheel. So when that gets done, we'll resume the wheel. So make sure you guys super chat. Helps us out. Best way to support the show right here on Off the Scripts. And tonight we're sponsored by Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. Code JD. Use that code at checkout. You buy 2 months of Blue Chew Gold. You get the 3rd month for free. 10% off and free shipping on your first order. That sounds like a great deal, if you ask me. BlueChew.com, code JD at checkout. I want to thank them for sponsoring the show right here on Off the Scripts. Let's get into this show tonight. Start things off at the top. We are looking at, get my notes here, LA Knight. LA Knight starts things off on Monday Night Raw. And Solo Sikoa had one of the best and most comedic segments of the entire year. I laughed my ass off at Solo Sikoa. And he is just becoming one hell of a fucking entertainer on Monday night. Fucking great. First of all, I gotta say, the fans in Ottawa fucking blow. What was with the Ottawa Canadian fans tonight? Let's try and not go back to Ottawa. Holy fuck, man. It's like half the show, most of the crowd was asleep. And they only popped and got excited for the exciting parts, and everything else was just kind of blah. You pay all that money to remain as quiet as Ottawa? I find you to be a weirdo, bro. Find you to be a little bit weird. Crowd was dead. Crowd was dead for a lot of this show. Last week, LA Knight and Solo Sikoa left the Bloodline laying. Obviously, the angle was good enough to carry us into the next few weeks going into Money in the Bank. And I do think that it was very similar to the Sami Zayn and Bloodline angle from the 23 Rumble. If you are out there claiming it's not the same And it has nothing to do with that. You clearly are a blithering idiot. WWE is basically recycling angles and storylines with the Bloodline with a different cast of characters. It was the same premise. The same premise. So they went and talked about that. LA Knight was in the capital city of Canada, and he wanted to talk about a capital C coward in Roman Reigns. Now, the mention of Roman Reigns got this crowd to at least elicit some sort of excitement. That was basically it, though. So LA Knight recapped Reigns' recent history, and he's been sending the family members after LA Knight, well, telling him he needs to go win a battle royal or go win a tournament to get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. Then Reigns created a Lucha tournament, which Knight could not qualify for because he's not a Lucha. All the while, Reigns was still sending the whole family after LA Knight. Well, not really the whole family, because Solo Sikoa is on LA Knight's team. Solo came through the crowd, and you saw LA Knight kind of looking in the crowd, and he sees Solo just walking through the crowd. Solo came through the crowd. He's standing by the timekeeper's area. He thanked LA Knight for saving him from the Bloodline. Solo tried stealing Knight's catchphrases, and LA Knight said, "Whoa, this is your warning shot. I'm only giving you 2. He kept going on and on and on about LA Knight's catchphrases, using LA Knight's catchphrases on LA Knight. LA Knight said, "Whoa, what are you doing? This is your warning shot, man. 2, that's it." Which then brought out the Usos. Man, how the Yeet died, huh? Nobody likes the Yeet anymore. WWE has regressed with the Yeet. You love to see it. Just like they've regressed with Danhausen. We haven't seen Danhausen on television. It's like WWE finally got the memo. Fuck the Danhausen. Or if you go on Instagram or TikTok and you read anything regarding Danhausen, fans who commented all over my Danhausen clips, believe it or not, call him Danhousing. It's like back in the day when all the fans used to call Seth Rollins Seth Rollins. I don't know who Rollins is. I don't know who Danhousing is. Is that like, who is that? Is that your landlord, Danhousing? I don't know. Ridiculous. Yes, Danhausen went pew pew. Shot him dead. Good. Get rid of him. Usos came out, and they said they were going to bring their heads, LA Knight and Solo Sikoa's heads, back to the tribal chief. So, Jey Uso does his, "This is your warning shot." Pow! And in the ring, Solo Sikoa is in the ring, and he's legitimately doing Neo from the Matrix, and he's dodging bullets. He's dodging Jey Uso's bullets. He's pulling a Neo from the Matrix. LA Knight is over in the fucking corner. He's like looking at him. And I laughed my ass off at this. I mean, this was the best Solo Jey Uso interaction that I think we've gotten since Solo's turned babyface. That was tremendous stuff. Tremendous. I mean, the guy is as entertaining as anybody else in his family that's currently on television right now. And I was not the biggest Solo Sikoa advocate, but holy shit, man, where has this version of Solo been hiding? Where has this version of Solo been hiding? Crazy. Legitimately crazy. So, a tag team match was made. It's going to be Jimmy and Jay versus LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. That's for the main events. It's, paint by numbers stuff here in the beginning. WWE starts the show with a promo, sets up the main event match. The main event is consisting of Bloodline members and whoever is battling the Bloodline at this current juncture. Not really the most exciting way to spend 2 hours and then have the show conclude with the Bloodline in another random tag team match. Oh, man. I can't wait. Like we haven't seen that one before. How many times have we seen Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso against LA Knight, man? I'm done. I'm done. Pew pew. We start things off on Monday night with a returning Roxanne Perez or actually returning Stephanie Vaquer against Roxanne Perez. In Roxanne's corner is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. The Judgment Day. This was Stephanie's first match since losing the Women's World Championship to Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. So this was decent. They were given a lot of time. Do you realize that this match was given almost 2 times more time than Liv and Stephanie got at WrestleMania? It's unbelievable. They got 7 minutes. This went almost 14 minutes. There was actually a lot of pro wrestling on this show, which was a pleasant surprise. Very good. More wrestling on tonight's Raw than I remember in recent weeks. This started a little rough. They tried to do a little chain wrestling here, and it wasn't really all that great. Now, I'm not going to blame it on anybody in particular, but Stephanie's been out for 4 months, so this was her first match back. So obviously, there's an adjustments period that needs to be taken. So I'm not going to zing them too much. Perez got a near fall on a cradle. Stephanie came back with a cradle of her own. She stretched Perez into a bow and arrow. Old school move. You don't really see that all that often nowadays with the bow and arrow submission. Stephanie goes up top. Raquel is on the apron. She distracted the referee, and Perez shoved Vaquer out to the floor. Perez then throws Stephanie into the barricade on the outside, and we go into our first commercial break. Roxanne is still in control. Cartwheel into a knee for a cover, only a 2 count for Roxy. Perez tried an abdominal stretch submission. So Liv now, it's her turn to taunt and distract. She distracted Vaquer. She fights out of the abdominal stretch, reversed it into a stretch of her own. Stephanie then caught Roxy with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker and a back suplex. And then we go into the slop. That is the Devil's Kiss. Now, you know, I remember WWE making Stephanie basically a one-move merchant before WrestleMania with the Devil's Kiss. That's all WWE thought about Stephanie. Oh, she's the one that does the Devil's Kiss. Great. Fantastic. So she hits the Devil's Kiss. Hopefully we don't get back to making that all about Stephanie and only thing about Stephanie. Devil's Kiss. Stephanie charged into a boot. She no-sold it. She then yanked Roxy out of the corner. Devastating dragon screw leg whip out of the corner. Roxy raked Stephanie's eyes. Shining Wizard. Only a 2 count. Roxy then locked in a crossface. Stephanie fights out. SVB backbreaker. She climbed up top. I thought she was going to go for the, whatever she calls it, the tornado dive that she does. Rodriguez distracted the ref again. Liv then yanked Stephanie off the top rope down to the mat. All of a sudden, the spiral tap. Now it just came to me before anybody mentions it. The spiral tap. Beautiful. Beautiful move. That should be her finish. I do not like the SVB. I think it's a very fundamental, basic move. A woman like that needs something a little bit more showy. Something with a little bit more oomph. That's her finisher. The spiral tap is fantastic. Though she may only use that move as like a special thing when the moment calls for it. Maybe she only saves it for big matches. I don't know. So Liv yanks Stephanie off the top down to the mat. Becky Lynch comes on out. Her theme music hits. She went after Liv Morgan. Stephanie then kicks Raquel Rodriguez in the face with a super kick. She slides back into the ring. Roxy was already waiting, hits a moonsault on Stephanie. But Stephanie gets up, catches Perez with a double underhook facebuster, and she got the 1, 2, 3. Stephanie Vaquer wins her returning match, as she should. And hopefully Roxanne Perez is going to be an odds-on favorite to win the women's Money in the Bank come October. That's my favorite to win the women's Money in the Bank right there. Stephanie looked good here. Roxy is someone that I definitely want to see come up and get fast-tracked. I think now, to me personally, I do think that Roxy is being held back by the Judgment Day. But, you know, in stereotypical fashion, Triple H fashion, everything's got to have this long, drawn-out creative. And we're just waiting, hopefully, for Roxy to break out. I do think the Judgment Day is holding her back. Meanwhile, you got a division right now that is going to start to introduce other women. You got Lola Vice, who got a coming soon vignette tonight. So she's coming to Raw, which I thought was definitely Lola going to SmackDown because Damian Priest is over there and they're linked together. They've made their relationship public. Unless Damian Priest is coming over to Monday Night Raw and coming back to Monday Night Raw. I have no idea. But it looks like WWE is going to break that formula of putting couples together on the same show with Lola coming over to Raw. Roxy's being held back. That's a major single star ready to break out. You get her where she needs to be. That's another top-tier in-ring woman on the show. I'd even go out there and say that Raquel Rodriguez is being held back by the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day isn't doing much of anything. They are a shell of their former self on Monday. What have they done? Dominik and J.D. McDonough lost all their appeal and all their credibility when they lost to Danhausen. Or Danhausen, if you're a geek. Dominik has been buried and clearly punished. He's the AAA Mega Champion. He's set to lose that to El Grande Americano come Triple Mania. Roxy loses. Raquel hasn't defended the championship in a few weeks. She just feels like a placeholder champion. And Liv, she finally now, this month, has credible opponents in Stephanie and Becky. The Judgment Day hasn't done much of anything. We got to get Roxy away. That's just the way I see it. Stephanie wins in about 14 minutes. It was all right. Nothing too crazy here. But WWE needs to start heating up Stephanie Vaquer as well. A lot of time lost there, and you got another top-tier woman in the entire company, never mind on Raw. After the match, Liv tried to jump Stephanie. Becky made the save, dumped Liv into the crowd. And Becky and Stephanie continue to tease this, not hatred for one another, but this tension, because both women want the women's championship. Stephanie wants the women's championship and to beat the shit out of Liv Morgan because the Judgment Day in storyline put her on the shelf for 4 months. And Becky wants the women's championship because she thinks Liv Morgan is nothing more than a glorified valet. So both want the championships, or both want the championship, but for two different reasons. Speaking of the Judgment Day, Rey Fenix was backstage and he was talking to Rey Mysterio. Dominik Mysterio showed up and he complained about not being in the tournament for yet a second week in a row. Now, he's the AAA Mega Champion, but why would he want to be in a tournament that the winner is going to go to the finals and get Roman Reigns to inevitably lose? So I don't really understand why he wants to be featured in a Lucha tournament for a match with Roman that no one is going to win coming out of this tournament. It's probably best for Dominik to have missed the tournament. Rey Mysterio actually did his son a favor. He's already been buried enough. We don't need him to be buried any further. So Javon Evans comes out of nowhere, and he absolutely destroys Dominik and J.D. McDonough. He throws both of them into some production crates, starts yelling at both of them. I don't know where that's going. Javon Evans has already got his hands full with Big Cass. We'll see what happens. Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee. This was a number one contenders tournament semifinal match. The winner of this goes to the finals and meets either Penta or La Parka. Not the La Parka. This is the third iteration of La Parka. This was easily the best match on the night and one of the best matches that you'll see on Monday Night Raw all year. I am so glad that WWE, because coming out of the first round, in my opinion, WWE didn't really make these matches feel special. You know, WWE is not from the main roster audience anyway. It's not really familiar with El Fiscal and Psycho Clown and Dr. Wagner Jr. These guys don't really have any equity. They don't have any name value to the main roster audience. They're just another masked luchador, just like a dime a dozen to the audience. Now, we know who they are, but the audience doesn't know who they are. They all look the same. The first round didn't really do anything to get you excited. The second round, when things got a little bit more fleshed out, that's where I was hoping to get a true sense of lucha libre. Let these guys go out there and show the world what they could do. Let these guys go out there and show the world that they are some of the best luchadors in the entire world. WWE gave these guys 14 minutes. Now, I could have watched these guys go another 6. They could have pushed it to 20. I mean, they could have AEW Dynamite this fucking match for all I give a shit. This was fucking great. If this was Tony Khan, it would have gotten another 10 minutes easy. But they got 14 minutes, which is a lot for WWE standards. And I thought they fucking killed it. This was the best Rey Fenix has looked since joining the WWE. And honestly, with the ending and the outcome, you could see why there was a little bit more pizzazz. There was a little bit more flair in Rey Fenix's step. He was fucking great tonight. Which boggles my mind how WWE hasn't pushed Rey Fenix just as hard as Penta. Like, we all know Penta's got the charisma, and he's got the entrance, and he's got the better theme music, and he's got a better presentation. WWE didn't do half of what they did for Penta for Rey Fenix. I don't understand it. So we're all wondering, like, why is Rey Fenix, out of both brothers, kind of miscast? Like, they came in as number 1 and 2 in the world as top luchadors in the entire wrestling industry. Highly sought after. One of the greatest tag teams of the modern era. And one succeeded and the other is still trying to find his footing. And I don't really understand why WWE all of a sudden now is featuring Rey Fenix on TV. He wins the AAA Cruiserweight Championship. He's had like 6 or 7 defenses. He's defended. Half of those defenses have been on SmackDown. You couldn't find television time for Rey Fenix without the Cruiserweight Championship. But as soon as he won the Cruiserweight Championship, he's holding another promotion's belt, and that gets him television time. I don't understand it. Outside of all the criticisms, I thought this was his best match to date in WWE. Dragon Lee is also another one. Phenomenal. He is unbelievable. So the fact that these guys got 14 minutes to showcase what they can do was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So kudos to WWE for allowing these guys to go out there and showcase what they can do. Excellent stuff. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Dragon Lee dumped Fenix with a German suplex. Fenix is on the outside. Dragon Lee, tope con hilo. Right into a commercial. We come back after the commercial. Dragon Lee and Fenix, they're exchanging knife-edge chops in the middle of the ring. Lee takes out Fenix with a sit-out powerbomb. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count. Dragon Lee charged into a super kick. Fenix up top. Moonsaults. Goes for a cover. Again, a 2 count. He quickly follows that up with a powerbomb and another cover and another 2 count. So Dragon Lee's trying to climb the ropes. Fenix caught Lee with a palm strike as he's climbing up top. Fenix tried a top rope Hurricane Rana, and then he winds up in a tree of woe. Dragon Lee positions him down, double foot stomp in the tree of woe. Fenix countered after that with a suplex into a small package for 2. Dragon Lee then set Fenix out to the floor after a big super kick. Lee followed, and Fenix sent him into the announce table. So Dragon Lee dropped Fenix on the table. He goes back into the ring. And man, I tell you, his suicide dive. We see some people do suicide dives, and my opinion on those suicide dives they are a dime a dozen. They're all the same. Samoa Joe's got a great suicide dive that is a legit match changer. I mean, 300-pound Samoan flying at you with a suicide dive. I mean, that's a devastating move. Darby Allin does a great suicide dive. Not a big Darby Allin fan, but he does a great suicide dive. He throws all his fucking body weight at you. It's like he shot out of a fucking cannon. Everybody else that does it is just a dime a dozen. But Dragon Lee may have the best suicide dive in all of pro wrestling. He legitimately launches himself so fucking far, he reaches the announce desk and cannonballs through the rope with a fucking speed that is just unheard of. Takes out Rey Fenix with a cannonball dive through the ropes all the way to the announce desk. Now, we've seen him do this before, but it's just fucking unbelievable when he does it. We go back in the ring. Dragon Lee, it's a tornado DDT. 2 count. Dragon Lee went for his Operation Dragon. Fenix countered, it's a brainbuster. Fenix tried for a Mexican muscle buster. Dragon Lee countered, Styles Clash. I thought that was it. I thought after the Styles Clash it was over. I thought Dragon Lee was going to the finals. Rey Fenix survives. He kicks out. Rey Fenix comes back. Rolling cutter. 2.5. Fenix then catches Lee with an enziguri. Super kick. Then pulled Lee out of the corner. Mexican muscle buster. 1, 2, 3. And Rey Fenix is going to the finals. Fucking great match. Fucking great match. Love it. They killed it. One of the best Monday Night Raw matches you'll see all year. And finally, the tournament starts to feel important. The way that these guys wrestled made the win feel important. The way that these guys wrestled means that the prize at the end of the tunnel, whether it's a guaranteed loss or not, it doesn't matter. They both desperately wanted to be in the ring in the finals for a shot to wrestle Roman Reigns. You felt it was on the line, even though you knew it was on the line. They made you feel how important it was. Fucking great. Loved it. We got a vignette, and I mentioned this before. I'll mention it again. A vignette airing for Lola Vice. It was clearly Lola because, A, she shook her hips, so you know it's Lola. B, they showed someone kickboxing, clearly Lola. And then it was like a Miami Vice City type vibe. Again, for Lola. And then even in the colors of Vice City, 9/14 at the end of the vignette, which is Raw in Mexico City. So Lola is debuting on that Monday night. I think that's a great spot, being that she's worked in AAA and she's had some time in AAA and working in Mexico, teaming with Mr. Iguana. WWE thinks it's the best to debut her there. So Lola is coming to Raw. Now, what does that mean for Damian Priest? Either WWE's moving Priest to Monday Night Raw, which, I mean, at this juncture would not be the worst move for Damian Priest, honestly. I don't know what he's going to do on Friday night. I mean, they have wrung that sponge out on Friday night. And honestly, he's a former world champion. He could be placed in something new and something fresh on Monday. Knowing them, they'll probably throw him right back into the fucking Judgment Day garbage. But I think a move. There's a couple of moves I would make to Monday night. Priest would be one of them. Carmelo Hayes would be another, and Julia would be another. I would move Hayes, Julia, and Priest over to Monday. SmackDown right now is 2 hours. By default, Raw needs more talent because they are the longer show. They go anywhere between 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes every week. Plus, the show's starting to feel samey. We need some new talent. And one of the most glaring issues on Monday is the fact that the main event scene isn't really all that big. You got Roman, and when he's not there, you don't really get a sense that anybody's truly main event level status on the same page as Roman Reigns. On SmackDown, you got 8 or 9 different fucking guys. So it's either that they're moving Priest over to Monday Night Raw, or WWE's ending the narrative that couples need to be on the same brand with one another. Otherwise, she'd be moving to SmackDown. See what happens. Femi. He sits down with Bron Breakker. Contract signing for Sunday night's main event. A match I am absolutely looking forward to more than anything WWE has done this year. Outside of Reigns and Punk, I would say. Punk and Cody too, but that disappointed me. I don't feel like we are going to get disappointed by this match. Especially on Peacock, where a lot of fans tend to think the Peacock special events come off a lot better than the ESPN special events. Which, by the way, ESPN is raising their prices from $29.99 to, I think, $31.99 per month. So we're paying more, or you guys are paying more, and the quality remains unchanged. Now we're paying $2 or $3 more for those same 5-match PLEs. Then you want to know why people pirate. Arr! Ahoy, matey! Then you want to know why people use VPNs and opt to pay less because the prices are ridiculous and the quality's worse. Contract signing. Adam Pearce is in the ring. All right. Now it's time to put ink to paper for the match some say will determine the future of WWE at Sunday night's main event. Out comes Femi. Paul Heyman is in the ring with him. He's in the ring with Adam Pearce, not Femi. And Bron Breakker is there. They're sitting at the ends of the contract table. Paul Heyman does his ladies and gentlemen spiel. With all due respect, Mr. Femi, there is no vision for the future without including the phrase, fear the spear. He introduces the hardest hitting athlete in all of WWE, Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker sitting down and says, who the hell do you think you are? Honestly, who do you think you are coming out here and claiming yourself to be the future as if you earned it? Well, I don't know. I mean, I love Bron Breakker, but that's not really the wisest of statements. He beat Brock Lesnar twice. One of them at WrestleMania. I mean, does Oba deserve that statement? Does he deserve the moniker of future of WWE? I mean, unless Bron Breakker beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, I don't know what his complaint is. You beat Brock, okay. You won King of the Ring, okay. You squashed a bunch of people. Those all sound like great opportunities, but none of them sound like championships. Now, do they? You see, 8 months ago, before you showed up, I had WWE in the palm of my hand. I had this place under control. I was the future, no doubt. They chanted my name every week, just like they chant yours. They bark in every town we go to, just like you. And then I got hurt. I took myself out. Because let's face it, nobody, there's not one man back there enough to take me out, including you. And then what happened? You weasel your way into my spot and my opportunities and get handed everything. This mountain that apparently no one can climb that you speak of. You were born at the top of it, Oba. Don't fool yourself. You were in that position because I was hurt. And that's it. It's that simple. And I'm back here to rightfully claim what belongs to me. So Oba Femi speaks. Bron, you're an angry orange man. Why are you so angry? Okay, let me explain something to you. Because I get the impression that you are so frustrated. Because you believe that I don't rate you. That I underestimate you. I don't. And right now to your face, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about you. I think that if you debuted in 2002 and ran against John Cena, you will be the face in the future of this place. I also think that if you broke into the business in 2015 and ran against whoever the big dog, wink, wink, was back then, you would be the face and the future. But Bronny boy, this is 2026. And you have the unfortunate privilege of running against me. And this is the part of the equation where the mathematics stop making sense to you. Good that good old Steiner math, huh? He says the mathematics stop making sense to you. Because you cannot understand that because I exist, your chances of being the face of this place have drastically gone down. The dogs are barking, Bron. They're barking, woof, woof. But they're barking off the wrong tree. You've been outclassed on every level. And on Sunday night's main event, I will show you that I am the ruler. I am the destroyer. I am the bringer of war. The future. Oba Femi. Bron Breakker then says, this is all really funny, man. I love it. I love the fact that they chant your name every week and they do the strut with you. I love it, man. I love the fact that everybody in the entire world loves you, counting me out, thinking you're going to roll over me. Like this is any other Oba Femi match, right? I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen to you so you can get home and prepare yourself for what's coming. I'm going to force you to fight me in deep waters. I'm going to take you out there like he's fucking Jaws. You're going to get tired. Your lungs ain't going to have air in them. Your legs are going to go. You're going to be a sorry wrestler in the middle of this ring who thought that he can compete with a real dog like me. And you may cast a big shadow with your entrance out here in the arena with these people. But in this ring, this squared circle, I'm going to own you. And you will spend the rest of your career living in my shadow. You're the ruler, the bringer of war, the guy, the future. Well, I'm Bron Breakker, the guy that Oba Femi cannot beat. Bron Breakker then signs the contract. All right. Let's get Oba to sign it, says Adam Pearce. Then Bron Breakker looks at Paul Heyman. You want to sign this? Or should your daddy do it for you? Paul Heyman, off microphone, but you hear everything he says. That ain't funny. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Go ahead and sign it, Paul. Sign it for him, says Bron. You've been walking around the last couple of weeks like you represent him, like you're his guy. You want nothing to do with me. Brock shows up, I take a back seat. Go ahead. Sign it. Sign it for him. So, I don't know if he's legitimately angry at Paul Heyman or just used this as a sucker punch ploy, but he punched Oba. Oba grabs Bron by the throat. I thought he was going to chokeslam him right there through the table. Bron and Oba are trading shots back and forth. Austin Theory attacks Oba from behind. Oba then sets his sights on Theory. Bron clotheslines Oba. The Vision then start a 2-on-1 on Oba. Bron goes for the spear. Oba blocks it with the big boot. Oba clotheslines Bron big time over the top rope. And then Oba does the Oba toss or the pizza toss to Austin Theory, and he throws Austin Theory right through the contract table. He then signs the contract. This is exactly how I will have you come the 6th. Sunday night's main event. You're running away, and you're running away from me. And he throws the contract to Bron Breakker. I thought this was great. Contract signings are usually very generic and very boring. Same old shit. Every one of them is the same old shit. Someone gets attacked, someone goes through a table, whatever. But I like this. I saw some people complaining online. Oh, look at these guys. They're signing a contracts for a match where nothing's on the line. Oh, great. Great. You know, your precious AEW would be better off if they actually had some WWE isms to them. We don't need a championship to be on the line for contract signing. This is a big enough match where contract signing makes sense. And they've already been warned not to get in the ring with each other. And Paul Heyman mentioned it last week. We don't do it in rinky-dink cities. A match like this needs a contract to be signed. A match like this needs to wait. We don't do this here. Big matches get contract signings. I thought this was great stuff. Usos. They run into Jacob Fatu backstage. Jacob pokes fun at the Usos getting embarrassed by LA Knight and Solo. Well, I mean, I wouldn't put it that way. I mean, he's got a lot of nerve saying that to his family. I mean, he was also embarrassed last week, too. Roman spoke down to him like a bitch. He's telling these guys off. Meanwhile, Roman treated him like a little bitch last week. So, Jimmy says that after what happened last week, Jacob should stay back, chill out, because Big Jim and the Yeet Man have a play to run tonight. Jay asks Jacob if he wants to be active tonight. Is he ready to fight with his scary ass not doing anything last week? Shut your ass up, Jay. Shut your bitch ass up. HOTC told me to stay down, and that's exactly what I did. How many times do we have to go over this? I don't listen to Jay or Jimmy. And he sure as hell don't take orders from Jay's punk ass. When the OTC tells Jacob to run a play, that's exactly what he's going to do. Jay flaunts the black Ulafala that Roman gifted him last week. You see this? You know what this is? That means we're now promoted as captains. Jay then tells Jacob to stand in the back and do nothing. Oh, Jacob Fatu is not going to take this much longer. We got a one-on-one match. Big Cass and Javon Evans. One-on-one. This is Big Cass's in-ring debut on Raw. First match in 8 years for Big Cass. Good for him. He looks great. Obviously, WWE sees a lot of upside in Big Cass. They gave him a big entrance. And they gave him an actual entrance to get across the presentation. So that's what they did here. I thought this was fine. This went 9 minutes. I thought Cass looked good. The only downside to this is Javon Evans. I mean, you're putting him in a lose-lose situation. You can't have Big Cass lose his debut match or his first match after 8 years. But at the same time, I mean, why does Javon Evans need to lose? I understand that there needs to be a winner and a loser. And Javon Evans is really getting over. But why put a stop to that? You should continue building that up. I don't know what Big Cass... I mean, theoretically, now you look at this, it's all over for Big Cass and Javon Evans. He beat him right in the center of the ring. What else is there for Big Cass to prove to Javon Evans? Now he moves on to the next victim. Cass comes out. He's got a new theme music. He got Def Rebelled. I don't know how you guys thought about it or felt about it. I thought it was like a modern take. It almost reminded me of the old school, new generation, Big Daddy Cool Diesel music. Had the same tempo. I'd have to go listen to an actual song file of it, but from what I heard, not really all that great. And certainly not better than what him and Enzo came out 2 years ago. So Evans catches him with a pair of super kicks right at the top. Cass is out to the floor with a Hurricane Rana. Evans tried for his "we outside" plancha. Cass caught him. Back in the ring, Cass clotheslined Evans to the floor. Big Boss Man slam by Big Cass. Evans then comes back, caught Cass with a big kick. Clotheslines, sends him over the top rope, followed him out with a tope through the ropes. Now we're on the floor. Evans dumped Cass into the timekeeper's area. Javon did a run around the ring and dove into Big Cass into the timekeeper's area with the big flying crossbody. Nothing sells WWE tension in a match than flying over the timekeeper's area. They love it. They love it. They really feel like that spot in that particular area takes it to the next level. Meanwhile, we see it almost weekly. Evans starts punching away at Cass in the corner of the timekeeper's area. Big Cass then tries to cover up. So we go back into the ring. Evans hit Cass with the red dot. His big kick. Springboard flying clothesline. He then went for the OG cutter. Cass shoved him off the top rope and bounces him off the ropes. Irish whip. Big boot with that size 13 boot. 1, 2, 3. And Big Cass pins Javon Evans in 9 minutes. There you go. For weeks, he used the East River plunge. Today, he used the big boot. I guess they want to leave it open for how he ends matches. Could end with a big boot. It could end with the East River plunge or East River crossing, whatever the fuck he calls it. Big Cass wins in 9 minutes. I mean, obviously he needed to win his first in-ring match after 8 years with WWE. At the same time, I don't like seeing Javon Evans get fucking beat in 9 minutes. I guess it's believable, though, that Cass murdered somebody like Javon Evans. Where he goes from here, I don't know. We might have some sort of direction for Javon Evans. At the end of the match, Dominik, Mysterio, and JD McDonough jumped Evans as Dominik hits Evans with a frog splash off the top rope. In the back, Jackie Redmond interviewed Sol Ruca, who's going after the Intercontinental Championship again. She wants a shot at Raquel Rodriguez. That's next week. IC title match already confirmed between Sol Ruca and Raquel Rodriguez. Sol is excited about this, getting the opportunity to get her title back. She says is a huge opportunity for her, especially after beating silly Lyra Valkyria, or like Becky says, lazy Lyra, and everything she's been through with the Judgment Day. So Io Sky joins in on Sol's excitement. Io wishes Sol good luck in her match next week. She knows that she can do it. Sol says that this wouldn't be happening if this wasn't for Io. In comes lazy Lyra, and she joins the promo. Lyra was just coming to say congratulations, but it looks like Io beat her to the punch. Lyra's not upset about what happened last week. It's water under the bridge. Tonight she's Sol's friend. Tonight she's deranged, is Lyra. So Sol broke Raquel's face the last time they competed against each other. Lyra says that Raquel is going to mess Sol up. Sol should give Lyra the title match, and then they'll run it back. Sol says she sees what Lyra's trying to do. She earned this opportunity. Isn't that what Lyra wanted in the first place? Lyra had her opportunity last week. She lost, so the answer is no. Lyra then challenges Sol to another match, and the winner gets to face Raquel next week. Sol says that if Lyra wants another title shot, so badly, go earn one. Lyra then says, you know, Bayley used to talk to me that way. Lyra then stares at Io and stares at Soul, and she walks away like a goblin, hunched over. No makeup. Looks like she hasn't slept in about 6 weeks. She looks unkempt and unshowered. Is anybody into this Lyra character? Anybody? Is anybody into this Lyra character? No? Lazy Lyra. Io even called her scary. I don't know if it's scary. I would find it to be a dead-end gimmick. It ain't going nowhere, chat. It ain't going nowhere. She looks contagious. Yes. Yes. She definitely looks contagious. She's on something. We got a Mr. T documentary coming to Netflix on September 8th. Great. Yes, they funnel this through the advertisements on the show because, you know, Netflix needs to promote. Penta. He goes one-on-one with La Parka. This is the third iteration of La Parka, says Corey Graves. So we get this match. This was not as good as the Rey Fenix and Dragon Lee match. There's one reason why. It's because the fans don't give a fuck about the AAA talent. They didn't know who La Parka was. They have no emotional ties or emotional investment in La Parka. So the fans were sitting on their fucking hands this entire match until the end, when they realized that Penta won and will be wrestling his brother, Rey Fenix, in the finals. So right at the top, La Parka hits a Rana on Penta. Super kick followed. Penta hit a tope con hilo. Took La Parka out. La Parka comes back, moonsault off the middle rope, out to the floor. La Parka dove, again, using his high-flying aerial ability. He dives right into a super kick, and Penta goes for a cover, only 2 count. So, La Parka comes back, some forearm strikes to Penta. He ran into another super kick. Penta rolled La Parka out of the corner, backstabber, which ended up looking sloppy. He goes for a cover off the backstabber, only a 2 count. So we go into a commercial break. La Parka hits a crossbody off the top rope. He then hits a power slam for a 2 count. Drop kick, handstand in the corner, another 2 count. La Parka hits a sloppy-looking tornado DDT. Penta hits the Penta driver for the closest near fall of the match. Penta goes up top. La Parka cut him off, yanked him down to the mat with a top rope Spanish fly. This was the best move of the entire match. La Parka went for his finish. Forgot what the name of it was, but Corey Graves called it out. Penta slipped out, snapped La Parka's arm with the sacrifice arm breaker. Penta hits a Mexican destroyer, springboard off the ropes. 1, 2, 3, and that is it. Very predictable. Everybody expected Penta to win. And now we are looking at Penta and Rey Fenix. Brother versus brother. The Lucha Brothers are in the finals of this #1 Contender World Heavyweight Championship tournament to win the right to lose to Roman Reigns. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm looking forward. At the end of the match, Penta and Rey Fenix meet in the aisleway. Fenix came out to meet his brother. They stared down, they hugged, embraced, and a handshake. It's going to be great. I can't wait. WWE should absolutely, minimum, should give these guys at least 15 minutes. Easy. Easy. I make it the main event. Give me commercial free. Let them go. And hopefully with what the fan theories have become over the last several weeks, these two have a banger match. Penta wins. Roman comes out, and the Usos attack, leading to the Usos trying to soften up the Lucha Brothers. Penta will have a great match with Roman in Mexico City, and this will lead to the Worlds Collide. First time ever with the Lucha Brothers against the Bloodline. Lucha Brothers versus the Usos. In Chicago at the Allstate Arena. Mega big-time tag team match. I mean, if you want one reason to tune into that show away from All Out, if WWE announces that match, I know what show I'm watching. Yeah, watch them give Rey Fenix and fucking Penta 6 minutes with a 3-minute commercial break. Watch. Unfortunately, this match is being taped. WWE's going to be taped. Or actually, I don't know if they're live next week or if this will be taped. I think, what are they doing, chat? They're taping Raw for next week tonight, right? Because they started at 6 o'clock. So they ended the show at like 8:30 Eastern, and then we get a taped Raw tonight for next week, and then they're doing the same thing for Friday. Friday's going to be normal time, and then they're going to tape another Friday Night SmackDown for the following week. Is that what the plan is? I think so. Oh, they're taping Raw this Friday. Okay. They're taping Raw this Friday, chat says. They're taping SmackDown tonight. I gotcha. Okay. All right. So it's Raw and SmackDown tonight, and then Raw's being taped on Friday with SmackDown. Okay. There you go. Anyway, this was obviously not as good as the Dragon Lee and Rey Fenix match, but Penta got the win, and obviously that was the right outcome. In the back, Solo Sikoa. He is with LA Knight in the locker room. He says, funny games aside, I can't thank you enough for having my back last week. And then he goes on to say that he has his back and he still owes him one. So LA Knight says, look at this softy Solo Sikoa. I appreciate the sentiment, but you don't owe me anything. The only thing you owe me is not making me regret this decision to stand alongside you. If they work together as a team, he says, they could go all the way to the top. Forget the warning shots. They'll be dishing out live fire tonight. So let's go handle this business. And LA Knight gives Solo a fist bump. We got a Zilla Fatu vignette on Monday Night Raw. Gee, I wonder who's winning the NXT Championship on Sunday. It's either going to be Zilla or Mike Santana. I don't think Tony D is walking out of Heatwave as the NXT Men's World Champion. I thought this was super cool. I said to myself, literally about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I called this guy's final indie match with Amazing Red at high intensity. And now I'm seeing vignettes for him on Monday Night Raw. Crazy. Crazy how the world works, huh? Adam Pearce is talking to Chad Gable in the back. Pearce says that Gable's match with Rey Mysterio last week was an all-timer. Very good. Very good match. He should really be proud of himself. That's exactly what Gable had in mind for the match and his title run going forward. This is his legacy. Pearce tells Gable that he's going to go work on finding him a new challenger to further solidify his legacy. As Gable turned around, Ethan Page finally reemerges on Monday night. Page wanted to say congratulations to Gable for all the success as of late, but more importantly, defeating Rey Mysterio. You know who else defeated Rey Mysterio and has their eyes on the token of excellence that is the Intercontinental Championship that you're holding over your shoulder, Gable? All ego, Ethan Page. Now, we can all agree that Page has earned an opportunity at the IC Championship. At the same time, Page makes the claim that Gable is intimidated by him. Page is not allowing Gable to respond at all, and he's playing off as if he's the one continuously getting interrupted by Gable. So Ethan Page understands Gable wants to make his schedule lighter by offering title shots to washed-up Hall of Famers because he doesn't want to step in the ring with someone as amazing as all ego Ethan Page. And Page says that the IC champion will find him one way or another. Gable reminds Page that he did have the same opportunity to become the Intercontinental Champion. They were in the same gauntlet match. You were the one who tapped out to me. He just ended him right there. Gable says that Paige was on top of the list of guys that he wanted to give title shots to. But he continues to run his mouth. And the verbal garbage that keeps falling out of his mouth, he's now talked himself out of a title opportunity. And Gable's going to go find someone else to defend the title against. Congratulations. You should really be proud of yourself. I don't know who else Gable defends the title against, but I can tell you that the guy he loses the title to will eventually be Ethan Page. That's where Ethan Page is going. Good to see him back on Raw. Next week, Penta battles Rey Fenix in the finals of the World Title Tournament. Roman Reigns returns again. Every Roman Reigns appearance. Roman Reigns returns. Where the fuck did he go that he's returning? Raquel Rodriguez also defends the IC title against Sol Ruca. Jackie Redmond. She was backstage with Stephanie Vaquer. In 2 weeks on Raw, Stephanie will finally get her rematch for the Women's World Championship. Once again, Liv showed her that she needed her 2 pets to try and take her down, but that doesn't work with her. Roxanne felt the inferno tonight. Vaquer says that she doesn't need help from Becky Lynch, but she says thank you, and she has respect for Becky. In 2 weeks, Stephanie will be alone in the ring with Liv, and she will take back her title, and she will destroy the Judgment Day. Excellent. Excellent. We're finally getting that match, and I do not think that Stephanie is winning the championship. Yet. Main event. LA Knight. Yeah. And Solo Dolo. That's what he called himself. That's not what I call him. In the main event, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and the Usos. Tag team match. Not really the most exciting main event to end a Monday Night Raw, but here we are. Typical Bloodline slop in the main event segment of the show. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break because if you've seen one Jay and Jimmy tag team match against LA Knight, you've seen them all. So after the break, Jay hits an enziguri on Solo and choked him against the ropes. Jimmy followed up with a drive-by. So now he's stealing Roman Reigns moves. Solo backdrop Jimmy to the floor. Jay cuts him off from getting the hot tag to LA Knight. Solo eventually takes out Jay, gets the hot tag to LA Knight. LA Knight comes in, starts beating up Jimmy with some jabs, being Hangman's neck breaker. Jay got a roll-up off a distraction for a 2 count. He then went for the Samoan drop, but LA Knight countered with an inverted DDT for a near fall. LA Knight goes off the top rope with his jumping elbow drop, connects it, gets a 2 count. Jay went for a dive on Solo. Solo cuts him off. Jay eventually hits him with a super kick. Out of nowhere, Royce Keys, wearing a mask, a face covering, runs through the ring and takes Jay and Solo out with a double spear. Then we see 2 masked men dressed in all black wearing the same face covering as Royce Keys, and they jumped LA Knight and Jimmy Uso in the ring. OTM from NXT makes their main roster debut. Bronco Nima and Lucian Price from AAA, NXT. And apparently the running storyline here is they are friends of Royce Keys. OTM dumped LA Knight with a double team finish, which I'm assuming is their finish. It almost looked like a double angle slam. And then they both fed Jimmy to Royce Keys off of an assisted spinebuster. That was not all. They absolutely demolished the rest of these guys. So Bronco Nima hits a running foot stomp on LA Knight. Lucian Price hits a side slam on Jimmy. Keys said that Solo and Knight didn't have his back as he's yelling at both of them on the outside. So Royce goes after and attacks Solo, LA Knight, and the Usos with steel stairs. OTM puts Jimmy through the announce table with a double crucifix powerbomb. Royce and OTM stand tall as the show goes off the air. Did Triple H, in some weird, twisted dimension, think that this was like a revisiting of like The Shield? Did you guys get that vibe? Did you guys get that same kind of correlation to what he was possibly going for here? They all come out wearing their silly masks and they beat up these guys and they tear around the ringside area, powerbomb through the table. It's like some makeshift Oakland version of The Shield. I mean, that's fine. Who's OTM? OTM stands for Out the Mud. Is that OTM? Says Michael Cole. They spent 3 years on NXT television. 3 years on NXT television. They were aligned with Scripps, if you guys remember him, Reggie, the former Reggie. They were tied to Jada Parker as well when this might have been early on in their run. Now Jada's great. I love Jada. So they've officially formed this new heel stable. So prior to his injury, like the storyline said, Michael Cole and Corey Graves went over tonight. Royce Keys was a babyface who teamed with Solo and LA Knight. And then he was brutally taken out in a street fight by Jacob Fatu and the Bloodline earlier this month. And he was stretchered out and off television for several weeks. He returned to Raw. He was enraged at what happened. He took his frustrations out on LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. He turned heel. He abandoned his former allies, who he teamed with at SummerSlam to beat the Bloodline in a six-man tag, and brought out Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. They are his hired muscle. So they took out the Bloodline and they took out LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. WWE is integrating the Oakland connection into the on-screen story. This is their real-world background. So apparently, Michael Cole noted that Royce Keys and Bronco Nima grew up together in Oakland, and because of this shared upbringing in the Oakland area, Keys reached back into his roots to pull Nima and Price out of NXT and bring them to the main roster. They are now his personal enforcers. Like I mentioned in the beginning, Royce Keys is not big enough as a WWE superstar. He's not over anywhere near where he needs to be to lead a faction of unknown talents in NXT that, I mean, if you put them in a lineup and ask the casual fan, name these two guys, I guarantee you a good 80% of the audience are going to reply with, who? I mean, I didn't even know who the fuck they were. Now, I've made it apparent that I don't watch NXT because I think the writing is fucking horrendous. But now that Zilla's there, I'm going to be paying a little bit more of a closer attention to it. I mean, I'm not excited about Bronco Nima and Lucian Price on on WWE main roster television. Royce Keys is not built up enough to lead a faction, which is why I said eventually Jacob Fatu will be the next family member to leave the Bloodline. And he will be leading whatever this faction, whatever their name is, on WWE television. It will be Jacob Fatu, Royce Keys, and these two guys, OTM, Bronco Nima and Lucian Price. They will be battling the Bloodline. Whatever makeup of the Bloodline still exists. I don't know. I genuinely don't know where we're going into Survivor Series, but you know it's going to include the Bloodline in some way. Royce Keys isn't big enough to lead his own faction, which is why Jacob Fatu is going to fit. Yeah, the Oak Line. The Bloodline versus the Oak Line, yeah. It's exactly what it needs to be. I will say, I'm not sure how good of a tag team they are. We do get another tag team in the division. I mean, we're gonna need at least 6 or 7 more teams to actually call it a fucking division. I mean, there are no teams on Monday. These guys got no equity built up on the main roster. There's no value in them yet. Nobody knows who they are. We do get another tag team on the main roster. And what I like most about this, outside of the potential of Jacob Fatu leaving the Bloodline and joining his roots, his Oakland connection, I feel like Royce Keys as a babyface was fucking forced. Genuinely. It shows you how miscast Royce Keys was when he first got to WWE. They tried to build him up. They waited and waited and waited, and they built him up to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as if that does anything for anybody's fucking career. It doesn't. They forced him as a babyface. Oh, it's his name is a take on something that's significant to his family, something to do with his son, I believe. They tried to show these vignettes, these sympathetic vignettes about where he grew up and how it was hard for him growing up and the struggle he had to become a professional wrestler. I mean, bro, give me a break. Give me a break. Like, people see right through that. I now think, and this is the biggest positive out of all, outside of the Jacob Fatu possible connection, Royce Keys is exactly cast now the way he should have been cast when he first got here. Maybe WWE couldn't do that. They couldn't just throw him into a faction with these guys and obviously had to wait. They included him because of his connections with Jacob Fatu. But he's now playing a role, and he's now cast in a role that's going to allow him to show us who he really is. Going into those roots, going into that background, and being more of himself on WWE TV. That is the best kind of character. WWE's got this thing where they try and force someone to be something they are not. Now Royce Keys is going to be playing the character that we all know he is. Exactly what you got tonight with his background and his upbringing and that Oakland connection, that street vibe. That's exactly what he needs to be doing. So that's a big positive. He's not miscast anymore. We're gonna see how this goes, man. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do. I feel like with WWE, when they introduce a new team like this and new characters, and they pair them off with someone like Royce Keys, you would think that there's a lot of potential for that. I don't know. I'm not big on these guys just simply because I don't know who they are or how they operate. And Royce Keys, I wasn't really all that big on to begin with. So we will see what happens. And obviously, it's going to be leading into War Games. Thank you guys very much for all of your support. I really appreciate you all joining me here tonight on this Monday Night Raw post show. Right here on Off the Scripts for your August 24th, 2026. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Thank you to my patrons over there. We'll be discussing some shit this week. So make sure you guys go over there and check out what's going on. Follow me on social media as well. Tomorrow morning, 11:30 a.m., back with the coach, Jonathan Coachman, and myself, the 2 Count. BTT Studios back in action after a week off. We'll be talking about all the hottest topics in the last week. And on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, you guys are killing, man. So thank you guys very much for all that. So go and check all that stuff out. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And we need 20 more likes for the goal tonight. 750 likes. So make sure you guys do that. Continue to hit that thumbs up. Let's try for a cool 800. Let's try for a cool 800 likes. If you guys are in the chat, have not hit the thumbs up, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Am I looking forward to the Braves and Dodgers tomorrow? No, I'm not. The Braves cannot beat any of the elite teams in the league. which was evidenced by this past weekend series against the Brewers, where they almost got swept and barely survived. I am not looking forward to it, and this may be the week where the Braves fall into second place. Fantastic. Fantastic. In fact, I hope that they make the playoffs and lose. I know what's going to happen before I see it. They will not even advance past the first round. It's going to be tough. Shout out to my guy Marcus. This fucking guy comes in with a $100 super chat. Hey, JD, got my merch today. Thank you. My son Rhino loves the baseball cap. He said thanks to, what could we call LA Knight and Solo Sikoa's team? Well, first of all, Marcus, thank you, brother. I'm glad you enjoyed the merch. Make sure for me you fill up that beer mug with a nice cold beverage. And shout out to your son. Thank you, brother. What are we calling LA Knight and Solo Sikoa's team? I don't know. Big shout out to Marcus, man. Thank you for coming in here with the big bomb tonight. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. OTS join the tap room. How you know? Let's go. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Billy with the 2 months. OTS join the tap room. How you know? Yeah. Are you copying Michael, Billy? Michael's quite the influence in the venue. Knights of Dolo, says Astral. That should be their name. How you know? Tranquilo. Caden with a $1.99, no message. Thank you, Caden. Tone VC with a $5 super chat. The Down concert was fun this weekend. The pit was insane. I was standing right next to it. Not a fan of Down, bro. That southern grungy rock, not my cup of tea, bro. Not my cup of tea. What I am looking forward to is, I believe, either next week or the week after, we got the new Flotsam and Jetsam album. And I think at the end of the month, Fear Factory. Love Fear Factory. I was a big Fear Factory guy back in high school, man. I love Fear Factory. Dino is still killing it. Now they are without Burton Bell. Apparently they got someone that sounds almost identical to him. We got to see. I mean, Burton was fucking great. But a lot of problems there internally with the band. We got all new band members. Supposedly they have their first new single releasing at the end of the month. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tone, thank you, brother. Glad you had a good time. Bossmo Jackson with a $9.99. The Bron Oba segment was awesome. Very intense. Great segment, but I hear Bronson Reed is interfering in the match, and I don't mind. Nobody should be losing right now. I want Bron out of the vision. I mean, if there is a place for him to reemerge, it would certainly be that. Michelle with a 2. Watch them put OTM in keys with Seth Rollins. Yeah, that would really make it like the Shield, huh? My guy Joshua with a $50 mini bomb. Tonight was absolute slop, in my opinion. Raw starting to become the laughingstock of WWE, and it's said that SmackDown has had better segments lately. Flagship Show My Ass, Fire Triple Fraud, JD for Head of Creative. I hope everyone's doing great. SmackDown was awful on Friday, minus the CM Punk Kevin Owens match. Very boring show. They got a lot of work to do. But, I mean, both shows have problems, Josh. Big problems. But the in-ring tonight, I thought the in-ring for the most part was pretty decent tonight. And we got that contract signing with Oba and Bron. I did not mind that. I actually quite enjoyed that. DW Heard with a $10 super chat. JD, today is my birthday. I am now 27 years old. I'm feeling better since losing my dog, Chum Chum. But I'm happy to live another year. I love all you guys. You're all my second family. Cheers to 27. Brother, happy birthday. I'm sorry to hear about your best bud. I know how that feels, man. I know how that feels. I know many people in the chat know how that feels. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Let me see some birthday cake emojis for my guy DW Heard. Come on now. Appreciate you, brother. Happy 27. If you are in the mood for a cold beverage, alcoholic or non-alcoholic, enjoy it, brother. Cheers to you. Lost but found. $4.99 3-team War Games match with Jacob choosing in the end who to team with. Well, if you have 3-team War Games, are we going to go with... Who are we going with? We're going Jacob, OTM, and Royce. We're doing LA Knight, Solo, and he needs 2 more. They need 2 more. And then we have Roman Usos. They need 1 more. Could be. I don't know who we're plugging into those roles, but we'll see. $199 also says Lost But Found. Miss Parker is not that far behind. Eventually. Wild Lad 69 with a $20 super chat. I'm watching Raw back because I was working at 6. And man, this crowd is rough. No reactions from anyone at all. They need to not go back to Ottawa for a long time or even ever. Much love to OTS. Been watching for a long time. Wild Lad, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Yeah, Raw started at a funny time tonight because they're taping SmackDown tonight. I hate when the schedule gets thrown off, though I like finishing earlier. I don't mind finishing earlier, but the audience is also not here because everybody was thrown off by the time. They're like, 9 o'clock, JD's live. I thought Raw's got another hour and a half to go. No, we're live. No, we're live. Bossmo Jackson with the $4.99. The debut of OTM was nice and vicious. I like it. This is what Royce Keys needed. This is exactly what the tag division needed. Tonight's show was solid. What tag division, Bossmo Jackson? Now we got OTM in the Vision. Who else is there? 2 teams? We got a 2-team division. Is that what we're doing? Beantown with a $20 super chat. Hey, JD, I thought tonight was good, even though the crowd was dead. Solo doing the Matrix was funny as hell. Dragon Lee and Phoenix match was fantastic. The Bron contract signing was great. Looking forward to Saturday night's main event. I am as well. I'll be in Los Angeles on that Thursday going into Saturday, and then I'll be home that Saturday getting ready for Sunday, right back into the fire. Going to be a very tiresome weekend. Thank you, Beantown. My guy, Beantown with the 20. Hollywood Guy with the 5. Sad to hear that Ilya Dragunov is gone, and maybe Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano? Why is Johnny Gargano gone? It's so sad. Well, at least the way will be in AEW. Candice will follow soon. Is there news on Johnny Gargano being let go? I don't think that's the case at all. Maybe he is. I don't know. Meta with a $4.99. There's no wheel tonight, Meta. Maybe we'll bring the wheel back on Friday. Meta with a $4.99. Back from a mini vacation with my buddies and back with the best community in the IWC. Thank you for keeping it real, JD. Hashtag OTS for life. Johnny Gargano's profile never included WWE. Everybody's making a big deal about something that wasn't even there. Who do we got here? We got Aslan with a 990 in Super Chat. JD, Rey Fenix for Dragon Lee was sick. It was. Best match of the night. One of the best matches on Raw all year. Nathan Branco with a 499. He leaves no message. Nathan, thank you, brother. Brian Peoples with a 199. I could see Priest versus Big Cass on Raw. I could see it. I could see it. I wonder if there's a connection with Dominik, JD McDonough, Judgment Day, and Big Cass. I wonder. You think they're going to put Big Cass in the... I mean, they could use another big dominant force in the Judgment Day. Big Cass might be that. But the group is not the same, though. They lost all their mojo. I feel like that would be a step back for Big Cass. I think that would make it worse. He's probably better off on his own. Dingleberry with a $10 super chat. JD, I know I'm just some stupid screen name, but you've always been cool to me. I can't thank you enough. Never change. I never believed in anyone more than I believed in you. Love you, bro. Brother, you got a great community here. You're a part of the community, bro. You're a channel member. You're here every stream, donating, super chatting, hanging out. Yes. I should be thanking you. Should be the other way around, Dingleberry. Thank you for being here, brother. Chelsea and Tiffany and Nia Lash is being taped for Friday. So Chelsea's teaming with Tiffany against Nia and Trash. Interesting. That doesn't sound fun at all. I got to see a Nia Jackson Lash Legend on my TV? That doesn't sound fun at all. Population Too Many with a $2 super chat. I will be at the Raw in Fresno on October 26th. Predictions, JD. Brother, I don't know what the fuck this place is going to do next week. If I could make one prediction and have it come true, LA Knight walks in as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Aslan with another $9.90 in Super Chat. Final is Penta versus Fenix. Indeed. Chris J. Productions with a $1.99. Paul Burchill versus Danhausen. JD as the special guest referee. Listen, man, don't disrespect Paul Burchill, okay? Arr! Ahoy, matey! Also with a $1.99, Landon Hardwick versus Dirty Dom. Liv Morgan as special ref. Is that Liv Morgan's new boo? Yeah, I could care less. Also with a $1.99, isn't Bronco Nima already part of a group in AAA? Is he? I don't know, man. I don't know. Great, more AAA talent. Triple H is going to bury, huh? Marcus B, thank you again for the 100 bomb, brother. We love Marcus B. Enjoy that merch, man. Buggy Barrel with a $6.99 coming to us from Canada. Hey, JD, could you wish my friends who watch the Curtis and Mariah show for their engagement at a winery this past Wednesday night? They are watching. Oh, I read that completely wrong. I'm a fucking dumbass. Your friends watch the show Curtis and Mariah. Congratulations on your engagement, Curtis and Mariah. You're at a winery. I love wineries. I love wine bars, cheese, crackers, sitting down with a nice glass of Sauvignon Blanc. Man, that sounds fucking good. Congratulations on your engagement, guys. I wish you nothing but the utmost happiness and the wild road ahead. Have fun. Thank you for watching the show, and thank you for supporting the show. And Buggy, thank you for being here tonight in the venue, brother. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Don Stoney, Wrestling Soup and Spitball Media. And as always, rest in peace, Kevin Castle. Love you, Mr. Stoney. Don Stoney is always here, man, like clockwork. Always here. RD with a $10 super chat. What's up, JD? I also lost my dog Prince to cancer. Remember to love your pets and hug them for Prince. Much love, OTS for life. Bang! Pew, pew. RD, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Thoughts and prayers to you. They never leave you, man. I hug my babies multiple times a day. Multiple times a day. My little Freddie, my little Ivy, my old lady Bailey. And I even have little Xena, who's still looking for a home. At this point, Xena's going to fucking be my she's going to move in. She's already moved in. But shout out to you, brother. Thoughts and prayers with you. Hardest thing to do, man, in life is to lose a pet. Chair Shot Sports with a 20. Happy Monday, JD. Decent show with a dead crowd. Heat Wave is going to slap. And Zilla is definitely walking out with the NXT title. I'm looking forward to seeing what Zilla does. Zilla's exciting. We got Shooter with a $4.99. Just wanted to say thanks for everything you do for us. Probably would have stopped watching wrestling a long time ago. Keep up the work, broski. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Shooter. Thank you for being here, bro. Appreciate you, man. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. What's up, JD? Decent Raw tonight. Can't believe 3 years ago today we lost Bray. Gone way too soon and beloved by everyone. I was on the plane going to Wembley Stadium for All In. The first All In. And I got a text from Jesse saying Bray had passed away. Legitimately on my flight. I was sitting first class, obviously, because I'm flying into AEW territory first class, man. I'm not a fucking sicko. But, yeah, man, that was awful. I legitimately sat in my seat shocked for about 10 minutes. Awful. Captain Solo at $5 super chat. Is a heel turn coming for Damian Priest? And what do you think of Nick Nemeth being a dual champion in TNA? Glad to see Nick getting love. Nick Nemeth is one of the best in the world, bro. One of the best in the world. And still doing it better than half the fucking people still doing this today. I could see Damian Priest turn heel. I mean, they telegraphed it on Friday, so I could absolutely see it. Nathan with a $1.99. JD, today's my birthday. Can I get a shout out from you? Nathan, happy fucking birthday, brother. Let me see some birthday cake emojis for Nathan in the chat. Hey, Benny. Thank you for the $4.99, brother. You just paid for my coffee at my favorite coffee shop tomorrow, man. I'm going to be on my way to my favorite coffee shop, doing my 10,000 steps, and then I'm going to play Pokemon Go on my phone to kill some time. That is the 18-minute walk from my house in a very nice neighborhood all the way to my favorite coffee shop on Main Street. And I'm going to think of Benny with his $4.99 when I look at the fucking dude that stands behind the counter who already knows me by name and knows my order, the usual JD? Yes. Thank you, Mr. Barista. Large vanilla latte with an extra shot with half and half. I'm going to thank Benny when I look him in the face and I give my order tomorrow. Thank you, Benny. Thank you. Jalen with a $4.99. What's up, JD? You're the GOAT, man. You've inspired me to make wrestling content. You're absolutely my favorite creator. Jalen. Appreciate you, brother. Good luck with your wrestling content, man. It ain't easy. Just do it. Just go and do it. Lennon with a 20 in Mexican pesos. Tag team name should be Pew Pew. Yeah. I don't think they're going to be a team. They're just going to be partners in this Bloodline angle. They're not going to be a tag team. Maybe they will be. I don't know. Maybe they'll win the tag team titles. I have no fucking clue. Triple M, someone donated $5 to troll, bro. $5 to troll, yes. Absolutely. C. Zenner with a $10 super chat. Thank you, C. Zenner. No message. What the fuck is C. Zenner 26 drinking tonight? Furious with 5. Not high on OTM, but they are not Crime Time. Well, WWE certainly made them look like Crime Time. And Royce Keys is just more natural as a heel, also sending praise to Johnny Gargano regarding his dad. Is that why he tweeted out the way that he did? What happened to Johnny's dad? Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. From one cat dad to another, I've got to know what you do to feed your cats. Do you make them food from fresh ingredients, or do you buy cat food? I buy all organic food. They eat better than I do. The most important thing, I read up on this. The most important thing is to feed them better than you, honestly. I don't really eat a lot during the day anyway. I live on fucking caffeine and yogurt. And chicken. Don't buy them store-bought food like Fancy Feast and fucking 9 Please do not feed your cats this. I understand people don't have money to buy fucking fancy food, but bro, if you can spend a little bit more to get your cat something a little bit more healthy, please don't buy them store-bought food. That's number one. Number two, make sure they have fresh water. There's a film and a grime that builds up in the water bowls. I have an automatic water bowl. The brand is Petley, bro. I love them. I think their stuff is very solid. Stainless steel. Make sure you clean it regularly. There's a grime and a soot. It's like slimy that builds up around the spout where they drink out of and in the filters. Please clean that. That's one of the leading causes as to why they get kidney disease. So make sure you're taking the proper steps to give your cat the best life that you possibly can, because they are not here for a very long time. And it sucks. No, but I buy their food. Chewy. Chewy.com. This fucking Chewy boxes at least once a week coming to the fucking house. It's ridiculous. SRH with a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Yo, JD, good Monday to you. Rey Penta is a must-see for me. I believe Reed will get involved in Bron Oba. Judgment Day is dead. Kill review. You are the OTC of the IWC. OTS for life. Thank you, my friend. SRH. Thank you for the 20 bomb, brother. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Where are the Hurt Syndicate? Tony Khan. And boy, did Cedric Alexander dodge a huge bullet there, huh? Hashtag, what are we doing? Better question is, where are the Motor City Machine Guns? Well, the sickos got real quiet on that one, huh? Oh, but they're just waiting to debut them, JD. And why the fuck did you debut them then? Only to keep them off television. The Hurt Syndicate are as good as gone. They are as good as gone when their contracts are up. They took an easy payday, and Tony paid them like a fucking mark. Brian Roberts with the 199. Love the show. Can't wait for Lucha Brothers and the Usos. Hopefully it gets there. We don't know yet, but hopefully it gets there. Motor City Machine Guns are in whatever AEW catering is. I wouldn't say they're in Guantanamo Bay yet. I mean, they didn't really do anything to piss Tony Khan off. Maybe they did. I don't know. I don't think they did anything to piss Tony Khan off. But from what I'm hearing, there's going to be a lot of notable names with contracts coming up from both AEW and WWE, and we're going to see a lot of defections. A lot of defections going back and forth. Lennon with a 20 Mexican pesos. I miss your short videos. Well, there's nothing to make videos on, bro. There's nothing to make videos on. I am deeply integrating into the TikTok game. That's what I'm doing. TikTok, Instagram. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. So Johnny Gargano's dad has stage 4 lung cancer and prostate cancer, which is the reason why Johnny's recent tweet and taking a break for a while. Thoughts and prayers to Johnny Wrestling, man. We love Johnny Wrestling. He needs to come back when he can, and he needs to be on television. Like old school black and gold Johnny Gargano. Because that guy, I believe, is still there. And then Lavelle with a $5 super chat. We'll end with this. In honor of Vince McMahon's birthday, what is your favorite Vince moment or match? Despite his setbacks, the man is an icon. Favorite Vince McMahon match? Brother, there's no such thing as a favorite Vince McMahon match. There's no such thing as a favorite Vince McMahon match. Ever. The man is an icon. There will never be another Vince McMahon. And the man is the greatest wrestling promoter of this generation and the next 10 generations. And Chris with the Near Fall Podcast, $4.99. My cat's name is Taker. He's 2 years old. Always take care of your fur babies. You take care of Taker, bro. You take care of Taker. And you treat that motherfucker with the most love you can, bro. Just like me and my boy Freddie. And my little baby girl Ivy. Love them both. Thank you guys very much for all your support, man. We're about to get out of here. I'm about to hop on this Modern Warfare 4 beta. Fucking garbage. God, Infinity Ward is fucking terrible, bro. They are so fucking terrible. I hate Infinity War Call of Duties, man. I'm already waiting for Sledgehammer next year. Fucking awful. Thank you guys for all your support. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. You guys are awesome. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo, Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I'll be live with the coach. 2 Count tomorrow morning, 11:30 Eastern. We'll be back talking about the hottest topics in pro wrestling. And 8:30, of course, me and the Solo Monster live on Tuesday Night Titans. Until then, guys, have a great night. Thank you for a great stream. And I'll see you back on Tuesday with more on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.